Great job, Dahlia and Cliff. That was really fantastic, as well as all of our analysts have been throughout the series for helping us dissect the market and put various aspects of the digital transformation under the microscope. Now, I still have the music going. I'm still on hold. Can you believe it? Oh,
we're glad you called. Your call is important to us.
Really? Is it really?
Please stay on the line, and a customer service agent will be with you shortly.
Okay, well, while I patiently wait for my turn in the queue, let's redirect our attention to the MEF perspective with the MEF CTO, Pascal Menezes. Digital transformation is much more than moving IT workloads to the cloud. As enterprises move through their digital transformation journey, the building and network edge become critical infrastructure that enables all kinds of new workloads of a distributed cloud. Pascal returns to talk about digital transformation at the edge. Pascal, over to you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode on Edge Innovation. What an incredible topic. As you know, the edge is coming in massively, and it's really changing everything we know around workflow and processes as everything digitizes. There was a really great session this morning from Gunnar, and it was really, really enlightening to see all the use cases for this edge innovation. So today I'm going to cover the MEF perspective on the edge, and let me just go through the details of what exactly MEF is doing at the edge for the edge. As you know, digital transformation is a massive, massive wave of innovation, of massive growth. It's $6.8 trillion in climbing in investments just from 2020 to 2023. Now, under the digital transformation is really network transformation. Network transformation is critical to every service provider and to every enterprise of how the network has to transform to enable this digital transformation wave, and also, more importantly, the edge and what's happening at the edge. In a previous episode, we heard from Azure. Really, Sean talked about these next generation edge scenarios, and also Gunnar alluded to some of these scenarios. But these edge scenarios are very real. They're really affecting every vertical, as you can imagine, from transportation, manufacturing, retail, healthcare, and so on. Every aspect of the enterprise is changing and changing to these new edge scenarios for low latency applications. And I'm going to get into at the very end some really great POCs that we did at MEF to show these edge scenarios are real and real with technology and network transformation. So let's just talk about what is MEF doing at the edge. So we are really involved in a number of initiatives. Basically, number one, as you know, is SD-WAN. I like to say that our SD-WAN version 2 is about to be released. And with that, we have also been working on this idea of a universal SD-WAN for the edge. It's called Universal SD-WAN Edge. And really what the Universal SD-WAN Edge is trying to do is provide a minimal interop for the data plane, the control plane, the telemetry, and the management plane. Now this is very critical because the use case is very simple. With the edge coming in and compute coming in at the edge, many service providers, all the cloud providers, are going to have POPs, and they do have POPs all over the world, and they're enabling those POPs for edge compute. And at edge compute will actually have to have SD-WAN services. Now, most of these managed SD-WAN services have to support multiple vendors at the CPE sites. Most of these subscribers that subscribe to managed SD-WAN are really expecting to be able to use their vendor of choice inside their enterprise and communicate to any cloud edge or service provider edge for managed SD-WAN services. And really, a universal SD-WAN edge specification is really all about that. How can anybody take a universal SD-WAN edge appliance or virtual function of an edge, apply it at any POP or edge location, and talk to multiple vendors simultaneously? So that's the first time you're seeing a minimal interop standard, and it's coming from MEF. The next area we're doing innovations on SASE. As you know, SASE is everywhere. It's huge. And it's really the combination of SD-WAN coming from the edge, delivering a cloud security that's enabled at the edge. And basically, all of that has to do with wherever the user goes, their performance, application performance, and their security postures follow them. And really, that's the end goal of what SASE is all about. And with the pandemic, that is the best use case you could ever imagine to enable the ability for users to work from anywhere. So with that, MEF is also doing a lot of work in SASE. We're defining the standardization of SASE, and stay tuned as we release that sometime next year. The work is ongoing, it's moving very fast, and there's tremendous progress in this world of SASE. The other area that goes with SASE is zero trust. As you know, zero trust is becoming very, very common and very the buzz of how to do security, cybersecurity, and especially from anywhere. So zero trust, at the essence, enables the ability to have a user, a device, or an application provide an identity and a set of credentials. And with that identity, there's access control that's applied to where that user, device, or application, what they can do and what they can access. So this is very critical, and we're enabling this also at MEF. It's a sister companion spec with our SASE spec, and all of that works together with SD-WAN version 2, Universal SD-WAN Edge, the SASE specification, and now zero trust. So at MEF, we're enabling network transformation in these critical areas, all because it's on the edge. We also have been enabling network slicing, and with that, I like to talk about what is network slicing and why is it so important. As you can imagine, most enterprise, wherever the users are, wants to have a great seamless experience to wherever they want to go. And most destinations today are towards a cloud of some cloud-like service, whether it be private clouds, public clouds, so on. Clouds are becoming everywhere, and more importantly, clouds are distributing to the edges. And so the cloud and the use cases of all the cloud IT lines of businesses are being enabled at that edge, and that edge is very critical. So think about slicing as wherever the user is, they can use their devices and applications, get on a slice, whether it be private 5G or any of these wireless technologies, get a wired-like behavior from a wireless technology within their enterprise or their home, and basically get that performance guarantee that continues into the wide area network to the nearest edge, wherever the edge compute is. So network slicing is very critical for this, because slicing delivers really that end-to-end experience of application performance guarantees and security postures. And at MEF, we've just enabled the first slicing framework specification and user specification called MEF-CECP, and it's a network slicing definition. And with that, we're adding now slicing profiles. And I'd like to show you exactly a great use case in our MEF POC 132, where you see Spectrum and Juniper and Adva and Equinix deliver a user experience where the users in the stadium, and they can get different viewpoints because cameras are located throughout the stadium picking up different viewpoints. And that's then being analyzed at the edge by these AI, ML, deep neural networks. And basically, it's then processed, and users can decide what they want to see and how they want to see it. Additionally, all that video processing is shipped to the data centers, and then at hotels, as you can see in the diagram, from the resort hotel, in this case, Waypoint Resort A, they have an end-to-end slice. And so users in that hotel can also get a point of view of how they want to see that game and how they want to see it. And so that's all enabled by slicing. And additionally, in the Wayport Resort B, they're using instead SD-WAN, our SD-WAN 70.1 specification instead of slicing. And you'll see within our work, SD-WAN and end-to-end slicing does work together, and we'll demonstrate that in future specifications of how slicing and SD-WAN works together. Now, additionally, we're also releasing our APIs. We have our East-West APIs that was designed for Sonata between providers. We are now releasing that in our SDKs to the enterprise. What that means is more and more enterprises want to be able to access the edge, not only for SASE and SD-WAN services, but they also want to utilize that edge compute for their own application. And with our Cantata APIs based in the enterprise and Allegro operational APIs, we enable this. And there's no better use case than our POC 136, which actually shows the idea of an application optimized SD-WAN, where you see, for example, in POC 136, you have the DevOps guys who are really taking care of the applications in a microservice distributed model of applications that lives at the clouds or at the edges of and those distributed clouds. And then you also have the NetOps guys who are programming the network for SD-WAN, and they're allowing what a gold service is, or a platinum service, or a bronze service, and so on. So now what happens is basically you don't have to have the NetOps guys program on a per flow application basis what needs to happen on performance guarantees. The developer and the DevOps just has to say in his code basically that, and runs on microservices, that this is a video set of flows. And basically what will happen is that will automatically, through a set of APIs, communicate to the SD-WAN environment and automatically say that these set of flows are video and should be treated with the video kind of performance guarantees like low loss, low latency, and so on. And that would be the gold service, for example. And when another service, for example, text or messaging, doesn't need that criticality, it can use a lower service like a bronze service. And this is all done by applications programming the network. What SDN and SD-WAN allows is the ability now of applications themselves programming the network to what they want from the network. And this is exactly what is the essence of where we're moving to the edge of applications want to be able to access the edge and get information from the edge, not only processing from the edge at low latency, but also the ability to program that edge with all kinds of APIs. And at MEF, we're enabling that with our Cantata and Allegro set of APIs. So with that, I want to thank you for taking your time with this session. And this is a fabulous episode. And with that, thank you so much and have a great day.